Well, I tell you what, this thing fires right up. It's pretty sweet. I did a little bit of work on the carburetor, had to clean it up some, but actually got the chassis sold. So the old Master Deluxe is moving on to somebody else. I'm not sure what the guy has planned, but anyways, this was our donor for our build in the garage. It did us well. You know, honestly, after getting it out here, you know, the floor was totally shot. All this was fiberglass. The frame rails themselves, they don't look too bad. And actually, after tuning up the carburetor, sounds great. I mean, the thing is 90 years old. It gave the best it could for us, and I'm glad that somebody else found a use for it, and they can, you know, hopefully build something else great with what we got here. So this is our send-off to our Master Deluxe. We appreciate everything you have, and I hope that it lives a much longer life doing something else. So there you go. Sending her off to a new home. Well, happy Friday out here feeding the creatures. Everybody's having a good morning. It is a brisk fall Friday morning. The Master's getting picked up in just a little bit. So I'm gonna do some maintenance stuff out here, cleaning up, because our little coop area is kind of a disaster right now. And as soon as the dude gets here to pick up the Master, we'll load it up, and I guess it's moving on to a new home. So I don't know, nice relaxing Friday. So let's get some work done. Daisy, do you smell your treats? Daisy, what's this? Is that your treats? Do you like treats? Oh, where are they? Are they in the cup? Oh, your snout's too big for the cup. There you go, Piggy. Now you don't care about anything else in life, do you? Well, there she goes, on down the road to her next home. Well, one of the things that I realized when I was building the Master is that I just didn't have time to do anything else. And here it is, early fall, and I'm looking at all these other projects around the place that just need to get done. Like, I need to do some work in the pen where the pigs and chickens are. I got to do some work on the coop. I got these for my birthday, new casters, new dollies for moving vehicles around. So that's got to be 1/4 inch plate thick steel. So thank you, Jamie, for that. I'm going to put these together. Not that I have anything to move around right at the moment. Been driving the heck out of the Master. Still got to put bumpers on it, do the finishing touches on that thing. So we're going to get to that. But I think for a little bit here, I've got so many other things going on around the house and the garage here that it's going to kind of be like a more like a vlog of, hey, this is what I'm working on today, because I got tons of those projects. It's not that we're not going to work on the Model A or the Master, those kind of things. It's just that I've got so much other stuff to do that, you know, how do you prioritize? So anyways, I'm going to zip these together real quick so that they're put together for whenever we might need them. And I don't know, we'll see what else we get into today. Let me tell you, these are solid. I mean, they're beastly. So that's going to be awesome for a project someday. We'll get it maybe on this and, you know, scoot this around a little bit if needed over the winter time when I don't really want to move it back and forth. I don't know what to do next. Actually, maybe what we'll try doing is, got this on, like I said, the old Evil Bay. Got the delivery notification for that the day the judging happened at Ratstock. So we might just poke that on there real quick, just because I don't want it floating around and then I'll bang it up or do something stupid to it. So I guess now that these are put together, we'll work on that thing. Well, this thing looks pretty. I'm certain that it is valuable, new old stock, or whatever you want to call it. But it doesn't fit at all. I mean, this bit over here that's way off. None of these mounting holes match up anywhere near what's on there. So got this on the eBay site. I'm gonna see if I can return this, get a refund. I mean, I could cut it up. Probably would make a whole lot of old Chevy people mad if I cut this up to fit it on here. But I don't know, maybe everybody's already mad at me for doing this to the car as it is anyways. So I might hold off on doing this right now, because if I can get a hold of the seller, maybe I can find one that actually fits, because I mean, that's a lot of cutting. It's close, but no cigar. So maybe we'll hold off on that for now. Do something else at the moment. All right, well, let's try this instead. So here's our brake pedal. Remember, we had to do the zigzag there. I still can go down now that we've got the brakes pumped up. I can bring this pedal down probably another 2 inches. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut my square tube here, and I'm just gonna leave this side intact, and then we'll bend this so we get a little bit more, so the pedal's up high is what I'm getting at. So we need to bring it down a little bit. So we're just gonna cut this, leave this wall intact on the square tube, bend it down a couple inches, and then weld that back up. I can maybe put a gusset in here or something as well. But anyways, then we gotta put the pedal assembly back in there. So, you know, that'll be a today kind of project, just so that we can, you know, get something done. So I actually decided this is how I'm going to do it. Measuring from the floor to the pedal here is 49 3/4. And I'm just going to cut this, and I'm going to push this down till I lose 2 inches. And then I will weld that back up together there. So this is totally arbitrary. I just have it in the vise and then the tape to the floor. So we'll cut it and then we'll remeasure. All right, so we're cut through there. So this is exact exact science, let me tell you. So just gonna push down on that. There we go, there's our 2 inches. We got a little gap to fill there. Shouldn't be a problem. So we'll clean that up. And now that we got this bent, the way that I think the pedal will be a little bit lower, I will weld this back up and throw her back in there. Well, sure looks like we got enough heat in there to burn that metal together. And now it looks kind of neat. It's got a little dog leg hook in it. I don't know. It's probably the ugliest brake pedal ever, but I'm certain that will hold. So I don't know, I'll probably skip the gusset and clean it up, put it back in. And you always need, you know, when your universal pack doesn't have what you need, you come over to the magic box and you find your little E-clip, because you need to put one of those on the pedal as well. So gotta have one of these boxes that has all the assorted stuff you'll never need, but you always need. All right, well, the brake pedal's back in. There is absolutely no way to get you in there to show you that. So what I'm gonna do is, I think, work on our bumper here, since we never did get to do that before rat stock. So this thing's pretty beat. The hardware on it's, well, it's all bad. What there is, I mean, this thing, it's had better days. But these brackets on the ends, they do mount to it. So I think we're gonna save those. We'll clean them up. And I think what I'll do is I'll just use those holes in it, and we'll make a bracket that comes off the frame of the S10 to mount this. I might whack this dinger out of there, because that one's pretty bad. So we might whack that out. But otherwise, I might just wire wheel this. I mean, there's really no chrome on there at all. And just run it as such. Maybe, you know, maybe coat a little black on there so it kind of matches the rest of this. I'm not sure. Find that out later. But for now, straighten that out a little bit and fabricate some brackets for the sides here, I think. Well, I'm not going to claim to be a professional at that, but using a little hammer and dolly, we took that big dinger out of there. Not perfect, but nothing on the car is perfect. So I'm going to cut, you know, like these bits here that are just hanging out. They're not doing anything. I might have to cut cut that thing out, because this bumper is a little bit wobbly. And I have no other way to secure the bracket to the bumper, so we're going to have to cut that out. And, well, that actually goes through that thing. Oh boy. Are we just going to have a wobbly bumper? Probably should fix it. Well, so on this bumper, these things don't look too terrible, right? I mean, they're not good, but they're whatever. Now, for the front, I was just going to run these. Now, you'll see one looks like, I think it was submerged with the Titanic for the better part of its lifetime. This bolt here, you can see that one's not good or straight. This one here is basically non-existent. So I'm not 100% sure what to do with this. We could have a total mismatched pair up front. What I was thinking of doing was if I can, I don't know, we'll use those as the example. If I just cut this bolt off here, I can weld a plate back on the back side here so that I can have a bolt through it to mount to that thing. So that then I can actually cut the bracket off of here so that I can actually put a bolt through it that will hold it, because it's really wobbly. And I wouldn't want to lose that going down the road. So for the time being, I think what I'll do is I'll cut that off so we can work on getting this bumper secured to the car. Well, here we are making a mess again, and I just finished doing this, and I realized, why did I waste my time doing all that? I have this bumper here. It's nice and straight. Has no dings in it, but I guess I did need these brackets. I don't know. So it's off of there. Got pieces all over. Missed that fun. That was almost real bad. So I guess what I'm going to do is wire wheel this, clean it up a little bit, I guess, because I mean they're both pretty crusty. Not like they're new, but I'll clean this up a little bit, figure out some hardware for our brackets here, and then we will go over to the car and we'll see if we can. Well, we're going to have to get it out of here, spin it around, put it on the lift, and bring it back in so that I can kind of work on the underneath of it. So I'll clean this up here real quick and then move on. Well, I was looking at these things. I think I might actually clean this one up instead. I mean, they're essentially equal. There's just a little bit less to do on the one that's laying across the top here. Just so if anybody's watching and you have a 37 and you want some parts, well, like I said, I sold the master chassis this morning. I do have the tail lights. I've got some other doodads and whatnots that I'm going to put on Craigslist. I'll put them in the link below. If you're watching this video sometime in the future and you want parts, those Craigslist listings, if they're there, they're for sale. If they're no longer active links, then sorry, they're sold. But I'll put the bumper on, the tail lights. I don't know what else I have. So I'm just going to clean up this one instead. And then that's the one we're going to run. I think they're actually both rear bumpers. I don't know how I ended up with two of those. But the front, these brackets here, they don't even come close to matching what's on the front of the car as far as the front fenders. And like I said, I was just going to run my little horns there anyways. So let's clean this up and move on. Well, it's certainly better. It's far from good. The pitting on this, I don't know if it'll pick up, but I mean, the pitting it's intense. But it's clean, so I might just throw the rust converter magical enzyme stuff on the back This one actually does look kind of like there's still metal here, so we'll use this one. Throw that rust converter on there, and then we'll, where'd they go? Work on our brackets. So, fun story, I forgot I had this. Essentially, bought it a while back. Actually, I have a video of me assembling it. It's just a Harbor Freight blast cabinet. Might have 4 views on that video, but the reason I bought it was because I was making a gift for best man at my wedding, and it was this steampunk metal art guitar thing that I made. There's a video for that too. Anyways, it's been sitting in the basement, totally forgot about it. All the media was totally stuck together, so I was in here trying to break these chunks up. But I'm going to put those little bumperette things in there, see if we can clean those up a little bit with this thing. I highly doubt there's going to be anything worth watching. I hope I can see in there. But anyways, I'm gonna clean those things up and we'll see what they look like after. Well, that was, I think, mostly a waste of time. I tried using this. I tried breaking up these chunks in here, but I think what's happening is I'm just clogging the nozzle on this thing. So they're like, oh, that's the bad one. I mean, they're cleaned up some, but I mean, I just kept having to take it apart. And I think I'm just gonna have to dump this media and go get a fresh bag because this is dumb and wasting time. So I might cut these bolts off of here and see if we can weld something on there, clean it up as best we can so we can weld a bolt on there so that we can mount these. So whatever. I'm gonna let it sit here. I'm gonna cut those bolts off of there and see what we can do. Yeah. All right, well, I got the bolts cut off, all of them. And then on this one, I ground it down as far as I could. And then I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a piece of 1/8 inch plate because that is recessed underneath and this contour matches the bumper, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and stay below that lip there, and I'm gonna make a little rectangle and I'm gonna weld it on both sides, and I'm gonna have my hole in the center with my bolt that is gonna be welded to that 1/8 inch plate because I can't get that thing out of there. There's no way that I think I'd be able to recreate that. So we're just gonna put a piece on top of that. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna just make some rectangles and find a bolt that, I don't know, that looks probably 3/8 or so. So, you know, again, rat rod, making what you can with what you got. I swear I can't do anything without making a total mess, but here's what we came up with. So that's a 3/8 bolt, and I cut a piece of the 1/8 inch plate and I welded it to the back of our little bumperette doodad here. And then I took my bolt and I welded it to that plate. I did have to grind, it took me a while I had to, you know, this nubbin of what was left, you can see how it's proud there. I had to do a good bit of grinding and then freshened up this bit so that I could weld that on there. So actually this is kind of neat. I hope this shows up here. You can see the original GM stamp there. That's pretty cool. So this thing here, I did have to make that hole a little bit bigger. I used the step bit because my welds needed some room. So YouTube life with the camera in one hand is difficult. But you can see, oh, there we go. Sets in there nice. And then here's the bracket, goofy looking thing. So that will mount as such. Then we run our nut onto that. There's a big, that looks really tall, but with some washers and a rubber mount. I think I needed the extra thread. So now that we've got the process figured out there, I'm gonna do it there as well. And then we got to figure out something for the front. So anyways, that's our first one. We'll repeat the process over here. Pick one of these that's, you know, I don't know what to do with. We're gonna have one oddball, that's for sure. But not buying one. So we'll figure out what corner that's gonna go on. Anyways, oh, almost bought it. All right, gonna clean up and continue. All right, well, it is way beyond this morning now. This bit of exercise mat that I have here has done a lot for me on this project. What I did here, this was the old mount for the bumper. That thing is a rock. So I just kind of eyeballed that, traced out some other donuts from the exercise mat. I had this piece of conduit, and basically all I did is I stuck it on there, just went over to the vise and turned it and punched out some holes. So they're not pretty, but they will most definitely do to mount a bumper on the car. So now that we got, wow, the focus is terrible. So we're going to work on mounting the bumpers now. So I'm not sure that I'm going to finish with this because it's also now beer 30. So we'll see how far we get. I might not finish the bumpers tonight, but I'll probably push the video out just so that I got something for this week. Throw in at the end of this, I'll throw in the montage of videos from TROG and racing last week on the beach. That was totally awesome. I'd highly recommend it. Anyways, I'm going to continue working on my arts and crafts here, and then we'll see if we can get the bumpers actually, or the rear bumper mounted today. Front, yeah, that's going to be another day. All right, so we've got our two bumperettes welded up, good to go. Got hardware on the bench here. These, well, you know what? I've said it before. I actually even said it earlier today when I needed that E-clip. You just need one of these magic boxes, you know, put it wherever you have it, room for it, and who knows what you might find in there when you need it. So just like that box or that box, you're going to need it sometime, so you might as well save it. So I'm going to mount these carriage bolts actually fit in there perfect. So I'm going to use those on the end. They're way too long, obviously. We're just going to cut the end off of those. On this one here, these are going to be the front. You'll notice that, well, the brown one's now silver. I just had this laying around. It's the metallic heat-resistant paint. Doesn't need to be heat-resistant, but it's silver now. And then I did a little bit of black on it because it was too shiny. It doesn't match exactly. It's still horribly pitted. I might actually put some of that on that one, just so they're the same. Not real sure, but that one was never going to be metal again. It was way too far gone. So that's to be announced. That's the front. I'm going to mount the hardware on the back here right for the moment. All right, well, we got our holes drilled out. I got these cleaned up. I just did the wire wheel on them, sprayed that rust inhibitor stuff on them, rust neutralizer. So you'll notice that there's a, how can I hold this? There's a little tweak there, right? That goes down. I think it used to go up, but I think I'm going to run it so it points the bumper down to the ground a little bit. Anyways, I'm going to mount those up. And then I think that what's going to happen is that's going to be it for tonight. And I will mount those and work on the front bumpers tomorrow maybe. Well, no, volleyball tomorrow, probably Sunday. So yeah, like I said before, one little step at a time. So let's mount these up here real quick. And then that's probably going to be it for tonight. All right, well, there she is. I think it looks pretty good. I think that this is going to do all right. You know, it's got authentic patina to match the car. I don't know, maybe I'll fill that with something. I got a Chevy emblem, old school Chevy emblem. Maybe I'll put it there. But anyways, ran the carriage bolts through here, which again came from the magic box over there. So I think it looks pretty good. Not going to get to mount it tonight. It's just the way it goes. So, you know, we'll call it a win anyways. So that's going to wrap it up for tonight. We'll get back after it. Hopefully Sunday, we can actually get the rear bumper mounted over here. But for now, you know, I guess we're gonna run it naked at least for another couple days. So anyways, that's it. Hope you guys enjoy the montage of the TROG racing. Totally awesome. Would definitely recommend it. And I will most definitely have my race car, because this looks like a race car, doesn't it? We'll have this there next year, 100%. So winter project. Sounds good to me. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for Friday evening. So it is gorgeous. If you have the chance, go enjoy the fall weather, because this is the best time of year, I think. See you guys next week.
Hey, out of New York. Going up against F-33 Viking in the near lane. And away they go, singing off to the early lead. So I will make up names for anybody whose number and name is not on this. Away they go, 07 with the early lead. Out of North Carolina. Life would be finer if I lived in Carolina. There he goes. B-52 car. At 100, well, John Castrone out of Michigan. Anybody's guess. Connecticut. That's the Nutmeg State. Hotel Speedster. In the far lane. Second neck. Down the track they go. Too close to call. It's going to be a photo finish.